Padma, Sip Mrs. Sadhwani, Sip Rekha, Sip Krishna, Sip Rutanu, Sip Ashok, Sip Vinita, Sip Parvatiyama, Sip Bliko, Sip Ranjana. Welcome. Sip Tina, Sip Shidanand, Sip Chandra, Sip Ashok, Sip Sudeep, Sip Sagai, Sip Sangam. And there are people who I am not able to. Sip Bliss, Sip Sukeshini. Welcome, my dear friends. An interesting topic, but before the main topic, as usual, we are going to ask you if you have any questions. And if there are relevant questions, we will make note of them. If they are urgent questions, I will answer before the theme or at the end. Let us start. We have Rekha, Rutanu, Ajitek. Rekha, what's your question? Rekha, Rutanu, Ajitek, and Bliss. Unmute them, please. Yes, Rekha, bolo. Yes, Rekha, bolo. Rutanu, move to Rutanu. Move to Rutanu, move to Bliss, Ajitek. Yeah, bolo, Rekha.
I'm not satisfied with the answer, Dharma.
Yeah, so you cannot be satisfied because there is no proper English translation for Dharma. You have to understand it from the point of view of Dharma. It's an ancient word. So I'll talk to you at the end of the call if there is time. Okay, next after Rekha, Dharma is not translatable into an English word. Who's next? Rutanu is not here. Unmute all of them. Ajitek, Bliss, they all can ask their questions and then we can later on.
शिवम सर.
शिवम अजितेक बताइए कैसे हैं?
हाँ जी सर, ठीक. आप कैसे सर?
वेरी गुड. बताओ अजितेक.
हाँ जी सर, मेरा प्रश्न ये है कि जैसे 8 बिलियन की जनता है, ये परमात्मा ने जन्म लिया है या परमात्मा ने जन्म दिया है?
ठीक है. Very interesting question. So you are there for the call, right? The answers are given at the end of the call. You don't mind, right?
Okay, sir, fine. I am there.
ये परमात्मा ने जन्म लिया है या दिया है? It's your question, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. In Hindi, in English is asking as God दिया है, given birth to 8 billion people, or God taken birth, given
yes,
or
sir.
taken
Yes,
birth. Okay, good. Next, please, Ashok Nichani, Bliss, please speak, Bliss.
Hello, Shivoham dear.
Shivoham, your question, Bliss.
It's not a question. I would like just answer your question today.
Okay, so just wait 1 minute. You stay on the call and you'll be the first person to answer the question. Ashok, you also want to answer the question or you have a question to a new question to ask? Ashok Nichani.
Shivam Saji.
Shivoham.
I want to answer today's.
Okay, so let's start. Bliss will start and then Ashok. Start Bliss and second Ashok.
I would like to say, in fact, if you are able to read what I write, please. It's more easy like this.
Okay, so Bliss says, inner voice. I actually believe it has 3. The one that comes from the mind and ego, the conscience, which is more positive and filled with moral value and truth, and an inner dialogue which serves several purposes. So Bliss is saying there are 3 inner voices. She has given the complete twist to the call. Okay, Bliss, I'm not commenting. Okay, I'm just listening. Bliss says 3 voices. The mind and ego has a voice, the conscience has a voice, and there's the inner dialogue. I don't know what she means, but the conscience is more powerful by moral value and our inner dialogue which serves several purposes. Okay, Ashok Nichani. Sir, Ashok Nichani.
Shivam Saji.
Shivam Ashok.
Saji, the inner voice is the voice of the divine.
Okay.
When we are in consciousness, we can hear that voice. When we are in total silence.
So what according to you is that inner voice?
The voice which comes from inside. It tells us what is right and what is wrong.
Okay. So the question is, what is that voice?
That's a divine, voice of the divine.
Okay. So the inner voice is the voice of the divine. Ashok, I'll catch you in a few minutes. Don't go away. All of you who are giving the discussion today. So Bliss said 3, Ashok said 1, Rutanu.
Shivoham Guruji,
Shivoham bolo.
Guruji, the voice inside us is the voice of SIP. It is the voice of our own consciousness, which we can listen.
So are you saying the same like Ashok Nichani? Divine voice, or you're saying something else?
Same.
Because you're saying voice of SIP, it's voice of consciousness. Are you differing with Ashok, or you are saying it's a divine voice?
It's a divine voice.
So since there's nobody, let me ask you all a question. Some of you are saying it's a voice of Bhagwan. But what about the voice of the shaitan? So do you agree that inner voice, suppose the inner voice tells you, kill him, man, kill him, man, just kill him, man, just kill him. It happens or not? Does it happen or does it not happen? Then how can that be the voice of the divine? So Bliss is saying there are 3 voices. She's saying one is the voice of the mind and ego. Is it the voice of the mind and the ego? The voice of mind is separate, or voice of ego is separate? Is it the voice of the conscience? What is this voice of the conscience? Is it some inner conversation? Bliss is saying there's another voice called inner conversation. I don't know. I really don't know the answer. Krishna, the masters of the call. So many masters, they come every day to teach me. So you teach me today. Krishna and Rumataji, teach me. I want to learn from you. Krishna.
Yes, sir, I'm talking from my personal experience. I cannot
Obviously.
word this.
Obviously.
But I have deep trust and faith in the supreme immortal power. So there is a guiding force which always, even though sometimes I don't want to, then also it puts me on the right track. So I think that is a voice of the divine, or that is a force of the supreme immortal power. So the soul is giving power to the consciousness. Mind ko stop karta hai udhar. Otherwise, I would have dragged by the mind.
1 minute.
There
What
are 2
is-
voices. The shaitan ka, is it the mind's voice?
But so
That
now,
is killed.
so you are saying how many voices are there inside?
See, the mind and ego, the worldly voice is stopped, then you can listen to the divine voice. The soul activates the vivek or the consciousness. But I always
No, wait,
think
wait. 1 minute. Krishna, all of you, I'm going
the
one
voice
step
of the
back.
consciousness.
1 minute. Listen to me. What is this inner voice?
So
Wait,
that is
wait. Sometimes I am sitting like this. And I'm saying, that fellow is a crook, man. That fellow is a crook. The next moment, you say, that fellow is divine. That fellow is so divine, both inner voices.
right.
Agreed or not? We get 2 opposite voices sometimes. Both are inner voices. They are not outer voices. They are not voice coming from a loudspeaker. Allahu Akbar, Allah. No, it's not an outside voice. It's a
Yeah,
voice. It's a
Yeah.
voice coming from within you.
Yes. But you have now developed the skill to choose which is a right voice. No, that comes from the soul or the consciousness.
So there's no voice of mind and ego in your head.
No, it comes, but it is feeble. Now you're making that feeble and the other one is becoming louder. It is not a voice which is heard. But even for example, I can say I am never a social media person. I don't know why I clicked the Ask Air link. That was some pull. I don't know what made me do that. So that was the voice of the
Okay.
divine.
So what do you want to answer now? What is that inner voice that sometimes talks to us?
Definitely the voice of the divine.
Thank you. So we have got 3 people. Rumata ji, आप बताइए आपका हमारी senior mentor Miss Kiran
नहीं
Kathuria,
गुरुजी,
Rumata ji, बताइए.
नहीं गुरुजी, हम तो आपके शागिर्द हैं गुरु ने गुरुजी
नमस्कार, बताइए.
I feel गुरुजी शिवोहम, I feel when we are united with God, at that time we are able to listen the inner voice, जिसको कहते हैं ना सच्चित आनंद. When we are experiencing that is the moment when we can hear the inner voice.
So everybody can experience Rumata ji?
Guruji, who is connected to God at that time can hear it.
And those who are not connected?
They cannot listen, I think.
So how come God is talking to some people and God is not talking to some people?
Guruji, so many thoughts are coming. जो माइंड की थॉट्स होंगी वो तो फिर ऐसे ही होंगी ना, लेफ्ट एंड राइट. But when we are united with God, at that time, no left and right, only truth.
So how many? Okay, thank you. So I don't know. Are you all? Some of you are still confused. All of you know the answers.
Guruji,
Bolo, Rutano.
I think mummy has got enlightenment.
Why you think like that? Suddenly you are telling like that?
No. From many days, like if a problem comes to me, I get helpless, or I will have something. But mummy will be strong. And so mummy is enlightened.
Okay, ठीक है. Thank you. Congratulations. फिर कल आप सबको जलेबी खिलाएंगे. Vanita, thank you. Vanita, are you speaking?
Yes.
Tell us, Vanita.
Yes. As you said, there are two voices. One guides. Sometimes one will guide us to a right path. Sometimes it's not always. It is by conscious, whatever you call it. The other one, we immediately at the spur of the moment, we react, we do all kinds of things. That is also according to our inner this thing only, no?
Correct.
So there are two inner conscious voice.
But why your friend is telling only one voice is there?
I have to ask her only.
Has she removed the shaitan from her head? Only Bhagwan is there in her head. Is it like that? And we are all struggling. We are all having two voices, but she has only one voice, like Ashok Nichani and like and Rumataji also. So, my dear friends, let's pause for a moment and let's try to just understand. See, when we are in this samsara, the constant inner voice, the chatter is the mind. Goes on and look at that fellow such a lousy fellow. Look at this God. No, always will find me problem with me. Only see how cruel God is. It goes on and on and on and on. What is this evil voice? So is there an evil devil inside us? Some people wonder. Nobody told till now. I am surprised. Nobody told there's a devil also inside us. Of course there's a devil. It's called the mind. It's called me. The devil inside us is the mind and the ego. It gives you such a rotten voice. I call this disease rotten thoughtitis. What's the disease name? It is the greatest disease, rotten thoughtitis. If you have rotten thoughtitis, it is more dangerous than cancer and more dangerous than heart attack. Rotten thoughtitis is very dangerous. But what about that silent inner voice? Shh. Sometimes it's just Shivoham, 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 Shivoham. Sometimes it's a still voice. Sometimes it's a small, still voice telling you, I am with you, my child. I am with you. Worry not. Just surrender to me. There is an inner voice. So sometimes there's a voice telling you, don't do this. What you're doing is wrong. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Inner voice that's stopping you. Sometimes it's a voice of a conscience. You're trying to cheat somebody. What have you done? Somebody left one bag of jewelry and they're walking out of the train. And your mind tells you, let them go. You take this jewelry bag. It is your karma. Good luck. But the conscience tells you inside, hello, call that person. Give the bag. Call that person. Give the bag. Call that person. Give the bag. Don't you all feel sometimes a conscientious voice inside you? There are different voices that talk to us. Today, I'm trying to ask you, what is that voice inside you? What are the voices you experience? It is important in this journey of enlightenment. You have to understand. Krishna, Rumataji.
So I didn't say I hear only one voice.
Ah.
Yeah, there were many voices, my father's voice, husband's voice, beta ka voice. But now, dhire dhire, that has been silenced. And now the thoughts now, because more we are listening to this, our thoughts are based on this, we want to understand more. So now, otherwise also there was something which was, forcing me to come to this spiritual path. So it's not that mind ka voice nahi hai, but that is weaker now. Maybe once a while, but not much. The more forceful thought is, about spirituality and to understand the divine. That is why I said trust and faith is there, undoubtedly.
Therefore, let us be clear. There is no single voice in any of us except in the Satchidanand Atma. In that state of Satchidanand Atma, even in that case, sometimes the mind and ego will still have a voice.
Yeah.
अरे एक glass whiskey पीने से क्या होगा यार? The inner voice will tell, अरे एक glass whiskey पीने से क्या होगा यार? Will the world come to an end if you smoke one cigarette यार? क्या होगा यार? Such a voice comes or does not come?
It comes.
So we have to be cautious. What is this inner voice? Which voice are we listening to? Which voice are we talking to? Rumataji, and then Krishan, Ashok Nichani, and Mandip. Mandip is a newcomer. Welcome, Mandip. But one by one, we are coming to you. Yes, Rumataji.
Don't listen to Tanu, what she says. वो तो ऐसे ही बोलती है. Guruji, but I am telling कि भाई आप inner voice की बात कर रहे हैं ना, that we can listen when we are united with God, or we are in perfect silence, Satchitanand, बिल्कुल शांति में मिला जो हंसी आनंद.
That Rumataji.
जो सिचुएशन है ना, उसमें हम inner voice सुन सकते हैं.
और जब हम गुस्से में हैं, एंगर में हैं, मारो साले को.
तब तो माइंड काम कर रहा होता है ना.
नहीं, तभी वो माइंड
काम कर रहा होता है.
फिर भी वो भी इनर वॉइस है ना, माइंड का वॉइस. मारो साले को, चप्पल से मारो साले को.
पर
ऐसा वॉइस आता नहीं आता है.
गुरुजी आता है. ये ऐसी बात नहीं है कि नहीं आता है. ऐसा तो नहीं आता है कि चप्पल से मारो या कुछ, पर हाँ आता है. गलत विचार भी कभी कभी आते हैं, बट वेरी रेयरली. बहुत ज्यादा नहीं आते हैं गलत विचार.
बिकॉज ये चप्पल आपके माइंड में नहीं आते, बिकॉज चप्पल बुरी बात है आपके लिए ना. मेरे लिए अभी मैं सीख रहा हूँ. मैं तो सीख रहा हूँ.
आप तो पार हैं. आप तो पार हैं. आप तो ऐसे ही कहते हैं एग्जाम्पल के लिए. आप तो पार हो चुके हैं. हमारी बात करिए. So,
Rumata ji, we are talking about those voices that are inside. Today, we are trying to ponder on those two voices. Okay, thank you. Krishan, Ashok, and Mandip. Krishan.
शिवम गुरुजी.
शिवम सर, बताइए.
मैंने एक फिल्म में एक डायलॉग सुना था कि हमारे अंदर दो कुत्ते होते हैं. एक अच्छा कुत्ता, एक बुरा कुत्ता. वो हमारे ऊपर है, हम कौन से कुत्ते को रोटी खिलाते हैं. तो मेरे अकॉर्डिंग एक कुत्ता जो भगवान ने हमारे अंदर दिया वो इनर वॉइस है, और एक कुत्ता जो हमने पाल रखा है वो है लोभ, क्रोध और मोह की वजह से राउंड रूपी कुत्ता.
कभी मूवी से भी अच्छी बात सीखते हैं. कभी मूवी से भी.
एक कुत्ता जो भगवान ने दिया है वो हमारा राम रूपी है, और जो हमने पाल रखा अपने ईगो और माइंड से वो रावण रूपी. अब वो हमारे ऊपर है, हम उसको कैसी थॉट दे रहे हैं.
वेरी गुड.
अगर हम कोई भी गलत काम करते हैं उससे पहले राम रूपी जो वो है इनर वॉइस वो आती है. मैं एक गिलास विस्की पीने से कुछ नहीं होगा या एक सिगरेट पीने से कुछ नहीं होगा, पर इनर वॉइस से आता है कि सिगरेट भी कैंसर की एक रीजन है, और लीवर जाना भी विस्की की वजह से है. बट वो मेरा मन और मेरा माइंड इग्नोरेंस की वजह से उस तरफ जाता है.
वेरी गुड आंसर. वेरी गुड आंसर. वन ऑफ द बेस्ट आंसर्स फॉर टुडे. थैंक यू. और कौन बोल रहा है? कुछ और कुछ ऐड करना है? नहीं. ओके, गुड Krishan, very good answer. Ashok will come back to you. Mandip is a newcomer. Welcome Mandip, and then we come back to Ashok Nichani and Samatma also before Ashok Nichani, Samatma and Rajendra. Ashok, you are in the queue. Mandip, welcome to the call. How can we help you?
Thank you, sir. So I came to know about you from Mahashivratri function. I came there and I got this also to answer the question. So I was just reading your book and it was very insightful. So I just had one question though, that since we believe in karma philosophy, that whatever we do and based on that, we get the future births and whatever comes in our life. So I was just wondering, how come then the number of souls are increasing? I mean, if it's somehow logically not making any sense, because right now, as someone said, that 8 billion souls are there. So if they have not done any karma in the previous births, how come they are increasing the number?
First of all, to understand this, Mandeep, we must understand that the soul is a spark of unique life. A soul is not like one bottle becoming 2 bottles by magic, becoming 20 bottles. No. It is just like from one ocean, there can be 10,000 waves. And the waves can continue coming. I'm just trying to give you different examples for it to try to settle in your head. Or if you take one candle, with that one candle, you can light 100 lamps. Not 100, you can light 200 lamps. You can, or if you take a bucket of water, this is a classic example given in the Vedas and the Upanishads. If you take a bucket of water and keep it in front of the sun shining, you will see the reflection of the sun. But if you keep 50 buckets, you will see 50 reflections. So it does not mean that there are 50 suns. The light is reflecting. So just to now to come to the main answer to your question, there are several arguments. We are not here to argue, but the arguments could be if the Lord wanted there to be 80 billion souls, it's very easy for the Lord to have 80 billion souls. So there is no restriction for the Creator to have only 8 billion. How it went in 1900 from 2 billion today to 2023 to 8 billion, that is not in our hands. But many people who are trying to get intellectual answers, they say there are many species have become extinct. Many worms, many birds, many animals. Those were also souls. But that's not a right answer. I'm just giving you what is the intellectual answer. But the truly spiritual answer is this. A spark of unique life in you, the soul in you is different from the soul in me, as long as it is in you and it is in me. The moment, it's like 2 balloons. If I leave the air from the 2 balloons, both the air in both the balloons becomes one. You can't say this is the air of white balloon and this is the air of blue balloon. We burst the balloons, it becomes one. जो आत्मा की शक्ति है, वो परम शक्ति है, सर्व शक्ति है, प्राण शक्ति है, and the Lord can have 80 billion souls. So are you with me in what I'm trying to say, or you're getting? So therefore, let us not try to question, because any intellectual answer that you and me will put on the table will only be deceptive. The real answer is known to the Lord. Whether those souls have come from extinct animals, and because that's an intellectual answer, or whether it is, but let me tell you one small, very important thing, because you are studying karma, the book karma or the law of karma. Let me explain one thing to you. Ideally, if there are 8 billion people, then there are only two possibilities. Possibility one, that these 8 billion people are coming back as a punarjanam, as a rebirth. Or possibility two, that Lord is creating extra billion people for whatever reason He knows best. There are only 2 possibilities.
Right, sir. Because my understanding was that whatever good is happening in my life is because of the previous, good karma that I would have done. And if something is bad happening, then I get a respite because that I am only the one who's responsible for it. But I fail to understand then the new souls who are coming. How is it increasing when they were not there in the previous births? Because
suppose, just take for sake of argument, suppose one new soul is coming. That soul is coming without any opening balance of karma.
Correct.
He's just given a free chance to live a life. But he lives as a body, mind, and ego. He does good and bad karma. He forgets he's Atma, which is Paramatma. He gets caught in the cycle.
Okay. But then how is it decided where is he born? Because if I have heard, and it makes sense that
normally, Mandeep, it's only because of karma. Therefore, that's why that intellectual answer. There were 1 billion dogs and cats and frogs and penguins and dolphins that are now coming back as human. But we, honestly, Mandeep, you and me, we are not, this is exactly called Maya. If we get caught in Maya, then we get caught in Leela. If we get caught in Maya and Leela, will not attain moksha. Are we bothered about those billion souls? Are we bothered about our soul, our life?
our life.
So, if you want the right, after giving you all those answers, I'm bringing you back to the focus point. Let us focus on our liberation from misery on earth and free from rebirth. Let us focus on our point.
Sure.
Baki theek hai. Entertainment ke liye we can think this, we can think that. It's not relevant. Okay?
Got it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. We are every day at 8 o'clock. In case you like to join, please join us. Samatma. Samatma, unmute please, Samatma.
Yeah, Shivoham.
Shivoham, Samatma.
Mind is always talking to us. And it is only that when we still the mind, only then we can connect to the divine voice which is within. Because the divine voice is always right. But we have to learn to discriminate.
Very beautifully said. Again, like how who I appreciated Kishan. He said, "वो दो कुत्ते पाल रहे." And Samatma saying another very beautiful thing. Very beautiful thing. The mind is constantly talking to us. The mind is not talking to us sometimes. Today's talk. What is the moment we are able to still the mind and we are able to go into a state of consciousness? In that state of consciousness, then the divine voice is activated. So this is now Samatma is talking from a state of consciousness. This is see, this voice is an inner voice now. It spoke, Samatma spoke. Because we cannot just say divine voice. That's why both the voices are important. What Krishan said, it is हमारे अंदर दो कुत्ते हैं, एक पागल कुत्ता और एक whatever you call it. So बोलने के लिए which dog we are feeding. In America, there's a book. It says there are two CEOs in our head, Mr. Nep and Mr. Pep. Who's the CEO? That will be our life, Nep or Pep. Okay, good, very good, Samatma. Thank you, Rajendra. And Ashok Nichani will you come in next. Otherwise, you're waiting too long. And then Rajendra, Ashok. Then we'll come to Kailash.
Shivam Guruji.
Shivam.
Sir, there are two voices. Mainly, what we confront always, that is the voice of mind, ego, that what we call Shaitan. And also there is inner voice of Atma, which जिसको हमें almost जिसका हमें ध्यान नहीं रहता है, because we are not in always in consciousness.
Correct.
Once we go to consciousness, तो हमें उसका ध्यान आता है कि ये voice भी prevalent है उधर. And or at that time we are able to dominate the voice of Shaitan.
Correct.
So it is not always, basically the voice of Shaitan is basically the worldly, उसमें worldly impacts होते हैं, worldly impacts. और जो voice of आत्मा जो है, वो तो based on उसमें ज़्यादा वो bliss, spirituality की ही, because of that वो voice हम सुनते हैं, because of spirituality advancement. जो अब आदमी हमेशा सच्चिदान में रहेगा, उसको ही उस voice का ज़हूर हो जाता है.
Correct. Good. Very well said. You're similar to Samatma, right? What you're saying is similar to Samatma.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rajendra.
One more point, sir. But when you are in consciousness, we are able to draw a distinction between the two voices.
No.
Not. No. Okay. Then there's only one prevalent voice. Okay, got it. Only one prevalent. That is voice of Atma. Okay.
देखो आपने गलत बोल के आपने खुद अपने आप को करेक्ट कर दिया.
अपना ही ठीक कर रहा हूँ. अपना ही ठीक कर रहा हूँ. Okay.
Thank you. Ashok Nichani.
Shivam Saji.
Sure.
The inner voice is when we are in total consciousness.
Correct.
And other rascal mind with consciousness, which guides us to the wrong direction.
Correct.
So one example, Sarji.
Yes. Bolo.
Sarji, since I have realized that I am sick.
Yes.
And I take a few of my friends to a temple.
Yes.
And in the night, no one is there.
Yes.
And there's a crown full of diamonds and on the idol.
Yes.
So my friends are telling me, let us steal this.
Yes.
But since I am sick, I tell myself, how can I rob my own self? And those people can't reach because of their height. I can reach. And they are telling me, you can reach, take out the crown and take it away. Let us share it. My consciousness tells me, how can I rob myself? And I don't agree. They tell me you are a big fool.
Yes.
Because they're in mind state.
Correct.
But my consciousness, because I am SIP, I cannot rob my own self. I've realized that.
Yeah. So that what you're saying, what you're saying is conscience. There's a voice of conscience. And that voice of conscience is what happens in consciousness when the divine speaks. We think, we call it, they say sometimes, sometimes people call, hey, that's you're a dead soul. Have you heard that? People say, what a dead soul you are. Matlab, you are so kathor, you are so rude, cruel, you have no compassion. Sometimes you are called a dead soul. So when you are not like that, when your soul is awake and your soul is alive, then that soul becomes the voice of the conscience. And it tells you, don't do it, Ashok, don't do it. Ashok,
Right.
this is wrong, don't do it.
Wrong.
But if you are in mind state, then you will do it.
You're correct, sir.
Because the mind and the ego will be connected to the senses of the body. And the body will have desires and you will have cravings. And you will get caught in that. And we all get caught. Let me tell you, none of us has crossed that level where we have become Bhagwan. None of us has crossed that level. The game is going on. The game is continuing every day. That's why I think this week is today. How to live in. Okay, so therefore we have to learn. Next Friday, I'm going to talk about how to live in today. Next Friday, not this Friday. And I will, that's how can we be in a state of bliss, in a state of peace, in a state of consciousness, how we become so agitated, how we lose everything. That Shanti se mila, kya hasi anand, Satya ke chit mein mila, Satchidanand. It's very, very important. Kailash. Kailash?
Shubham, Guruji.
Shubham, Kailash, bataiye.
There are two type of voice, okay, every human beings, if we talk about, that is positive voice and the negative voice.
Good.
And this voice is depend on our environment. If we live in the good environment, if in spiritual we are, okay, continuously, then our thought process also automatically will change. Good. And the positive thoughts automatically comes, okay, and the negative thoughts that will slowly will be down. So it's depend on our society, or if we talk about our environment, whenever we live in that environment, then we focus, okay, in the mind state. And mind state, whenever the person, then he do the wrong work. Okay, every person do, he know, the consciousness tells him that this is wrong. That is called anubhuti, or if we say consciousness will tell us that we should not do that work. That
anything new?
Wrong.
What it is? Yeah, but anything new to add, or you're agreeing with basically Samatma and Rajendra, right?
Right.
Nothing else.
Right.
But remember one thing, Rajendra, as he was talking, his inner voice made him realize that in the inner voice that there's actually only one voice. Either there is one voice of the shaitan, or there is the voice of the Bhagwan. Normally, we cannot be in a state of mind and consciousness at the same time. That's why we have to flip the coin. The inner voice, either the inner voice will be divine,
right,
or devil. Divine or devil. So the D, both are D. If the devil is speaking, then the divine is missing. If the divine is speaking, then the devil is dead.
Right, Guruji. There is a need of the key of consciousness key.
Therefore, why we are having this talk today? Hello, sab log jaag jao. If you are sleeping, why we are having the talk today? Whenever the devil is in charge of your life, stop and flip from devil to divine. If you don't flip from devil to divine, it will destroy you. It will push you down. Snakes and ladders, like snakes and ladders. If you reach that point of 99, the snake will hit you, and you will come down to number 1 or number 4. I don't remember, as a kid I used to play. We are trying to make a game. Anybody wants to make the spirituality game? Spirituality, snakes and ladders. Take a game of snakes and ladders. And if you want to take as a challenge, buy a game of snakes and ladders. Who's interested? I will help you. And create a game. Replace every number 10 to 100 with spiritual, devil and divine, demonic numbers and divine numbers. Because we have not been able to do it. So any of you wants to take up as a challenge, take it up. I'm giving you an offer, an opportunity. Then we will print this game, the spiritual snakes and ladders, and we will distribute 10,000 copies to people. But my dear friends, therefore today I have spoken to you. It's very important. Today I have spoken to you on that inner voice. Every day, where did I get the question from? It comes as an inner voice. It came to me, I did not know the relevance of the question. But every day, the divine gives us a beautiful topic. And today's topic is so beautiful that it goes there. So I'm going to go to Pooja after Ajitek. Ajitek, are you on the call? Are you coming alive? Ajitek, aap hai call pe? Unmute him. Unmute Ajitek. Huh? Okay. Ajitek, and then we'll come to Pooja. But first Ajitek. Ajitek.
Yes, sir.
So अभी आपका क्वेश्चन है कि 8 बिलियन लोग जो है जन्म लिया या दिया. So what are you trying to get at? Every human being, you saw this, our dear friend Mandeep. Mandeep came today on the call and Mandeep asked a similar question. Mandeep said there are 8 billion souls. Where did these 8 billion souls come from? There were only 2 billion. 6 billion kahan se aa gaye? Mandeep asked the question. And you are saying, ये जो 8 बिलियन लोग हैं, ये प्रभु ने जन्म लिया या दिया? तो क्या समझना चाहते हैं?
सर इसका ये कि अगर प्रभु ने जन्म लिया है, क्या वो भूला भटका है, भूल गया है कि वो परमात्मा है इस माया नगरी में?
God has forgotten himself. आप बोल रहे हैं कि God has forgotten he is God.
हाँ जी सर, कि यहाँ पे जन्म लिया है और माया नगरी में वो भूल गया है, और यही उनकी हमारी जर्नी है कि अपने आप को पहचानना कि हम वो है.
तो आपने आंसर जवाब दे दिया कि प्रभु ने जन्म दिया है. प्रभु क्या है? प्रभु परमात्मा है. God is Sip, the supreme immortal power. The Sip is the soul. The soul gives life, Ajitek, and it gives life to a person who has to take birth because of karma. This is a principle on which we live. But Mandeep said, where did 8 billion comes from? That's why I explained, maybe there are species which are extinct now, or there are new karmic stories that God is creating, Sip is creating. We don't know. Can anybody know for sure? Ajitek?
Only God knows, sir.
Only God knows. But one thing is sure, Ajitek, in your question, आप ये जानते हैं आपके अंदर कौन है? आप इतना जानता है, आप 1-2 साल से कॉल पे आ रहे हैं. You have any doubt कि आपके अंदर कौन है?
No sir, सिप है.
क्या सिप है? Any doubt? आपका आत्मा ही परमात्मा है, कुछ डाउट तो नहीं है ना?
हाँ जी, हाँ जी, हाँ जी.
बस अगर आपके अंदर परमात्मा है, मेरे अंदर परमात्मा है, रूम माता जी के अंदर परमात्मा है, समात्मा के अंदर परमात्मा है, सबके अंदर परमात्मा है, और हमें क्या मतलब? You agree with me or you don't agree with me?
Yes sir, I agree.
अभी ये स्टोरी जो पूछ रहा है, पता है स्टोरी कौन पूछ रहा है? कौन पूछ रहा है ये स्टोरी? You know, ये जो क्वेश्चन है, ये क्वेश्चन कौन कर रहा है?
ये अजितेक का मन कर रहा है.
ये मन कर रहा है. मन क्यों कर ये क्वेश्चन कर रहा है अजितेक?
फिर भी सर मैं इसका उत्तर चाहता हूँ कि क्या उत्तर है इसका. मैं कंफ्यूज हूँ.
So you are still in mind state. You don't want to leave the mind state. Okay. Did God take birth or did God give birth? Correct. This is your answer. Your question, right?
हाँ जी सर. ठीक.
The answer is this. प्रभु कभी जन्म नहीं ले सकता है. प्रभु अनंत अनादि है. God is birthless. God is deathless. God is beginningless. God is endless. You got the answer?
हाँ जी सर, वो तो एक ही सनातन है.
So how can आप बोल रहे हैं प्रभु ने जन्म लिया, प्रभु जन्म कभी नहीं ले सकता. So that is your answer. आपको मिल गया. प्रभु ने दिया होगा, दिया भी, दिया मतलब अभी क्वेश्चन है प्रभु ने दिया या किया, प्रभु ने दिया या किया, चेंज योर क्वेश्चन. तो इसका मतलब ये है did he give birth or he in English the answer is every birth is a manifestation of the divine. There is actually no birth and death. Birth and death is just a maya, it's a projection of energy. The truth is that everything is leela, everything is like a dream. It's just like saying आपका ड्रीम कभी शुरू हुआ कभी खत्म हुआ, आप जानते हैं कितने मिनट आपका ड्रीम शुरू हुआ कितने मिनट आपका ड्रीम खत्म हुआ, बोल सकते हैं आप?
नहीं सर, इसके लिए तो साइंटिफिक इंस्ट्रूमेंट
चाहिए. नहीं, साइंस का बाप भी नहीं बोल सकता है. Okay. Pooja and then Pooja, AV means. Please unmute Pooja. Yes, Pooja. Please switch your video if you can. Yes, please.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
So my question is a bit different from today's topic.
Yes.
What are the problems humans face? They say that it is because of the previous karma which they made in their previous birth.
Yes.
Does it make any sense? Like, if the people are suffering because of the previous karma, how will they feel that I've made a mistake? Like, they will be not a feel. They don't even know what mistake they made. Then, does it make any sense? Like, if I suffer for this janma itself, okay, I will feel okay. I heard that person, so I'm suffering all this problem. But if I'm carrying the past and all, past life, past birth and all, does it make any sense?
Let me explain to you, okay? You have got a very, very valid question. I'm explaining the answer to you now. See, Pooja, suppose today you see somebody is dying out of cancer, also, although they have lived a beautiful life, they have been dying out of cancer. And you're explained it is previous karma, correct?
Yeah.
And you're saying what sense it makes. I don't even know what bad I've done. I've lived such a good life, correct?
Yeah.
What this cancer teaches us is this is what it teaches us, that we should be very careful with our present karma, because if we do bad karma now, even if we die, it will come with the karma will go with us. This is what karma teaches us. Point number 1, Pooja. And point number 2, it teaches us that we should be free from all karma. We can be liberated from karma and attain moksha. Therefore, there are 2 learnings of this. It's not useless that we suffer of the previous karma. I hope you understood my answer.
Yeah, but how will the person know that it is because of the previous what we made? We are suffering now.
If there are apples growing in your garden, how will you know you have planted apple seeds? Suppose you planted mango seeds.
It may be an accident.
No. Either somebody has planted. Apples will not grow in your garden by magic or by. So this is what karma teaches us. Okay. So thank you, Pooja, for joining the call. I have not spoken to you before. Please come along every day at 8. Now we are closing the call. 2 quick comments from Vanita and Kailash. Quick comments before we close. Vanita.
The thought came to my mind when Ajitesh said from itne number se itne kaise souls बढ़ गए हैं. What is the cause for it? What is the cause for it?
Yes. Yeah.
So I read somewhere there is no cause for a cause. There is no cause for a cause. How can we answer why and all?
You're right. So that's why there's some things some things are beyond man's comprehension and definition. Thank you. Thank you, Vanita. Kailash, last comment.
Yes, Guruji, my one question is that there is the only 1 second or the very minor second times the person killed the other person. कुछ ही क्षण में मार देता है, जैसे आप देखते शूटर ने उसको शूट कर दिया. Why it happens? This is written in his karma or what?
Not written. My dear Kailash, when we are shooting somebody, it is not written in karma. It is our new karma. What is happening to us? If somebody shoots us, that is our previous karma. If we are shooting somebody, it is our present karma. All our present actions are present karma. Very important. Those Kailash has asked a very important question. I mean, the question may be simple, but the answer is very profound. To make out the difference, what is your previous karma and what is not your previous karma, which is your present karma, is this. All your actions, he asked if I'm shooting somebody, all your actions are present karma. And all what is happening to you is your previous karma. I hope you will ponder on this till we meet tomorrow for the open
But
session.
that's also realized, I think, because if anyone killed to any person, he also realized I did that karma is very wrong. Okay.
वो
But
सब छोड़ो.
why not?
No, you are getting onto some other discussion. You asked a very important question. Now we have to close because otherwise they will shoot me now. Because if you talk a little bit more, the administrator will shoot me. Then bad karma for the administrator. With folded hands, I bow down to you.